all saw this artwork by Amano, we assumed that Doom Train would be in Final Fantasy XV in some overtly obvious form. But it is the allusion to the demigod that really has my interest piqued and really started this whole video. Final Fantasy VIII would be an obvious choice given the fact of its likeness to the artwork, but some other trains need to be taken into account, such as Ghost Train for Final Fantasy II and Phantom Train for Final Fantasy XIV, as they aesthetically fit more with Final Fantasy XV's train. One of the main purposes of the train is to transport souls, dead or otherwise, and can function as a boss, a summon, or a dungeon, and even merely just a transportation method. Here's a picture of our train with the other trains pictured in. As you can see, the similarities are quite striking. Here's actually a soundbite of our train, and let me know how eerie, if at all, it does sound to you. Now that that's kind of out the way, let's go through Doom Train's abilities. All the ones with the asterisk you see are ones that are casted directly and most often indirectly on the party. I attributed this to Doom Train and his abilities in Final Fantasy XV, as well as the overlay of abilities that were brought over from other iterations. And this allusion to those other iterations is what's really important in this first scene on the train. As you notice, the bros are all filled with animosity towards each other and they can't seem to get along. Noctis starts to fulfill the requirements needed or the conditions to get Doom Train. And here they are. Fantasy VIII's Doom Train needs the Solomon's Ring, steel pipes, marble tentacles, and remedies. Well, here's Noctis fulfilling the Solomon's Ring part. After this, you are free to roam the train, as I suggest you get acclimated with it, as you will be spending a lot of time in or around this train until eventually you arrive at your many destinations. The bros have to go on a quest for the Royal Arm and to be unified again, and this is where another requirement comes in: steel pipes. Now I understand that you're not having the steel pipes in your inventory, they are merely on the level and part of it as you're flipping switches through the level. It's the fact that they are around and that you quote unquote have them. So now two conditions have been kind of met. The player has seen the ring and the steel pipes. Well, all that left is the marble tentacles and remedies. Well, the marble tentacle happens to be a drop from the marble boss, and this boss also inflicts poison, which is an ability of Doom Train. That's an indirect reference to Doom Train, as well as the need for remedies when you're fighting this boss to heal yourself. So all the conditions kind of get met from the allusion to Final Fantasy VIII. So the bros complete the mission, become unified again, and enter the train a second time, fully activated, so to speak, meeting those previous conditions. Now the train directly casts its first spell or attack called Stop. As you notice, everything has, well, stopped. And as an aside, the train is fulfilling its primary role of transporting dead souls, Arden being immortal, dead even. And let's not forget, the train has also casted Berserk. He doesn't try to talk to Arden, he tries to kill him, leaving no talk option, and that is the primary effect of Berserk. You cannot do anything but attack. Now the most important or influential piece of evidence comes into play. You head up the train, and now the train has a health bar, a signature sign that this could be a summon, a boss, dungeon even. It is alive, and you have to now protect it, which is ironic considering that Doom Train has been trying to negatively affect you with its statuses since it's been fully activated. As soon as you finish protecting it, you are hit with another attack called Confusion, and Prompto ends up leaving the train. This I call separation, as this is a negative status effect. And now on top of the train casts Darkness. Now this isn't the typical darkness. I'm simply saying that darkness does play a role here, and I believe that Doom Train has casted a version of it on the party, metaphorically speaking. And with some help, you finally free yourself from the enemies and end up arriving once again and meeting two characters, Biggs and Wedge. Here's some of their dialogue that hints at the need for these two specific characters to conduct this train.
No need to worry. They can take a licking.
Only if we have to.
You've cut your ties with the Empire?
Yeah. The only way we could help the people was by leaving the army. Meanwhile, the crystal's just sitting there. No one in the army signed up for this. Ready to depart. Just swapped out the damaged cars for some new ones.
The ironic part here is that you saved this train once, and now the damaged cars have been switched out for new cars. It's almost as if this Doom train has hit a second phase even. A regen, a health. It has transformed itself and now is back to its full capabilities. What a shame for the party. This is a very long fight. You enter the train again, you talk to the bros. Shiva's real intention is to give Noctis power, so that is why she does stop the train. So it is not a wonder she avoids this confrontation, goes into the train to then go head toward Noctis, and Arden is there. While this was happening, you may have been asking, where's Gladio? Where's Ignis? Well, Doom Train casted sleep. That is why when Noctis wakes up, he has to wake up his other party members, just as you would do in another Final Fantasy title with some item or attacking them. He simply says,
Wake up!
People to pay attention here is that a Doom Train casts silence. Now, you may be saying, no, Arden cast silence, sealed the weapons. That is a form of silence, a sealing. I am saying that it specifically may have targeted Ignis or Gladio. Now we get to some of the stronger points of this argument. Look specifically as how the car is riding off of Doom Train in the artwork by Amano. And look how the party exited Doom Train with the car. They drive off the back of it. This is followed by the signature attack of a Doom Train or any of those trains. It is Runaway Train. And yes, we legitimately have a runaway train. We do run away from the train. The train is riding by us. We ride by it in this car chase scene. You complete the chase scene, your car is tattered. You have to now run through train cars. Noctis is leading the way, and then suddenly, Doom Train casts a physical attack. He drops a train car in between Noctis, Gladio, and Ignis, thus doing the last negative effect. Separation, as I like to call it. You may have remembered the previous one a little earlier in the video. Now they both parties, have to go through the train. Now there are some dead ends that you will get caught at. This is not the train you studied. This is a different train car setup. And you may get stuck in one of these dead ends until you exit to the steps on the left. And that ends your encounter with Doom Train. And that's about it. Did you find the evidence compelling? Do you believe that this is Doom Train incarnate, reborn, a different form? Check the poll out. That would really help me out and gauge if it was kind of on a right track. I find myself believing it more and more now that I think about it and I have made this video. I do believe that Final Fantasy 15 has Doom Train in it, and the qualities are a little different, nuanced. I know I keep using that word, but that's what I really think about Final Fantasy. Let me know. Content will be dropping for this game in 2019. PC players have just gotten this game, so there's so much more to discover. I'm GK, and have a good one.